Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Mike Goldstein here for Kill Mike. Um, just to reiterate what we're doing, we are killing this current version of Mike and creating a new version. Um, Big thing we're trying to kill right now is my uh, inability to stay consistent with what I want to eat to feel my best self. Update, I'm not feeling wonderful today. Was debating not coming on today, but we forced myself on. Thank you, Larry, for the reminder to go live. So I had to wake up at 5:20 this morning to drive my parents to the airport. It was great to have them here. That was really cool. And also, with all the hopping around San Diego area and showing them, the zoo and other stuff, went a lot of eating out. And eating out led to not eating healthy stuff. So we made a lot of bad decisions in terms of food. Got dessert here. Got dessert in downtown Carlsbad. Got ice cream. Hey, Larry. What's up, buddy? Nice to see you. Yeah, so that didn't go so well. But on a really cool note, I've been taking insight seminars, and they had an event yesterday, and my parents got to come, and they were the belle of the ball. My mom had everyone cracking up laughing. And it was nice to see them be a little bit vulnerable. Our family is not the best showers of emotion. So that was really sweet. And yeah, just feel really lucky that was able to share that with my parents and do some self-improvement with the entire family. Really awesome. What I did want to talk about is something that I'm going to be trying to work on. Some of you may not know, but I've definitely struggled with depression and being happy. And I know we're only supposed to be happy about 40% of the time. But I'm definitely noticing a trend of being less happy than I remember being, in my 20s. And I had no idea why this was happening. Nothing truly made sense to me. Because life's better now. It 100% is better in my young 40s than it was in my 20s. Yet I'm less happy consistently. So anyway, I was listening to this podcast around dopamine, and I found it really interesting. Basically, we're just addicts. We're all addicted to trying to get dopamine, and that's the thing that makes us feel happy. So everything we do is in seeking of this dopamine, of our next fix of dopamine. And we get that from alcohol, drugs, obviously, or just anything that makes us feel good, whether it be the initial seeing a like on Facebook or scrolling a cool video in TikTok. Or just checking your phone to see that there's messages and text messages and friends are wondering what's going on. Scotty, welcome, buddy. How you doing, brother? Thank you for joining us. But anyway, and feel free, guys, if you want to talk about anything, put it in the chat and we'll chat. But I'm just going to rant for a minute, and then we're going to, if you guys want to talk about what you guys are working on, we'll talk about that. But back to dopamine. So we're always just looking for our next fix. And I realized that, I'm not addicted to alcohol or drugs. It's not, I could do that and then, not need to do that for a while. But my phone, this freaking thing, it is stuck to me and I check it all the freaking time. And I've gotten in this awful habit of in the morning, probably going on it. I'm not a morning person. I don't like waking up. So I'll hop on that thing for an hour, hour and a half, doing nothing productive. but always like constantly looking for that soccer video or that like witty comment or that something to learn. The algorithms got me dialed in, and yeah, it's just not serving me. I want to kill that version. Um, but I'm also probably addicted to it. And I want to give myself grace and some compassion, because I realize, as an addict, you're just going to keep going for this thing. And, we're programmed that way. Go seek the dopamine. So what I'm committed to doing is I'm going to plan it, but I'm going to take 2 days off of cell phone. I'm very excited for that. I'm just going to not be allowed to do it and see how that feels. I heard that when you're an addict and you are cold turkey something, it can feel really awful. You can feel crazy amounts of anxiousness and other emotions. So I'm kind of curious to see what happens, because since phones existed, I have been attached to these things. I've never taken a full day off ever. So I want to try 2 days, see what happens. So we're going to try that. Larry and Scott, while I finish my rant, if you guys are still here, would love to hear. So what this is Kill Mike, if you missed it. What I'm working on is I'm killing this version of Mike, and I'm going to create a new version. So I'm kind of wondering what you guys are killing. So what do you want to kill? What version of Scott do you want to kill? And what new version of Scott do you want to create? What's the thing you're working on? Whether it's be more playful, be more love, a new body, whatever it is. Two of the things I'm working on, just to get you up to speed, are loving myself, because I'm really hard on myself. And the second thing is I want to rebuild the physique I know I'm capable of, and the health. Like even today, I'm not feeling wonderful. I just want to feel healthy, eat right. And ultimately, that's probably going to be about 20 pounds of weight loss. So for me, it's not working out. I love working out. It's the food. I love to eat too, and I love to eat crap. So I want to eat stuff that makes me feel good, because I will eat stuff that tastes good and gives me that dopamine hit and gets me excited for a minute or 10 minutes. But then right after the 10 minutes is over, my stomach hurts. I don't have energy. So I want to fix that. All right. So if we're looking at the chat here, Larry's saying my relationship to food and women. Larry, what is your relationship to food? Because I think you and I are going to relate on this, but what is your relationship? While I'm waiting for you to respond, my relationship is I make terrible choices. Especially when I get too hungry. If I get too hungry, I'm going to order whatever, and then I'm going to eat really fast and a lot. And so it'll be something bad, and I pound it really fast. So my body doesn't even know that like so much food is coming. And then all of a sudden I feel inflamed in my stomach. I feel low energy. I feel bad because I just threw so much food down my mouth, and it was too fast, and my brain wasn't able to process that, hey, we're chewing. Hey, we're eating something, because I am not chewing enough. So then the brain doesn't process that we ate a lot of food because it just happened so fast. Scott writes, that's 3 with food. So we all have food issues, and 2 with women. All right. Hey, I think we probably have 3 with women. I'm in relationship, but that's constant work, as I'm sure all of you know. But it's not my focus. But I think for me, maybe you guys can attest to this too, when I'm taking care of me at the highest levels, which would mean getting to the gym, eating right, I'm going to be better to my partner. And for you folks like that, maybe dating, when you're feeling like $1 million, when you show up to a date, these women are going to be crazy about you guys, because they're going to see, whoa, this guy really loves himself. He's taking care of himself. I want to be a part of that. So anyway, Larry, I'd love to hear if you feel like expanding, you don't have to. No worries. If you want to explain a little bit more about what's happening with you with food or with women, or Scott, if you want to share what specifically is happening, maybe we could have a dialogue about it. That'd be really cool. While you guys are writing in there, I do want to share something cool I learned. So with dopamine, every time we spike forward, our body wants to regulate to zero. So every time we seek this happiness and we get something, there's an equal and opposite reaction, kind of like what Newton said. So when we spike with our dopamine on, a drug, like one that we probably all experienced is alcohol. We get that, like, alcohol didn't exist. And, we weren't expecting alcohol to be so awesome. Alcohol makes your dopamine go through the roof of happiness when it first happens. And then there's a big come down the next day where we have our hangover, but it's really a come down too, where the dopamines are not there. And that's what's so scary about alcoholism is, we're constantly seeking that next dopamine hit. So that's why alcoholics build up this massive tolerance, because they don't get the same levels of dopamine by the same amount of drinks. So that's why all of a sudden they're drinking way more to feel the same sensation, the same dopamine effects, because it becomes less than. And the sad thing is that's what's happening on TikTok and Facebook, which I, scroll that thing like a mad person. I get that dopamine hit of seeing some cool video or seeing a friend doing something cool or seeing some picture. And that dopamine hit used to be big when I first started, and now it's very low. So I feel way less and I have to scroll more. But then what they found is there's diminishing returns. So at some point, you don't even get a dopamine hit. You actually just get wildly depressed if you stay on there long enough, because now you're comparing yourself to folks and you actually just don't get dopamine. You actually get a negative effect and you get depressed. But if you can create dopamine, what's going to happen is sometime after the happiness subsides, the body's going to go negative to bring you back to neutral. So that's not great. All right. So Scott, same thing as me, 30 pounds from my Jack best self. I'm about probably 30 pounds too. So we're right there. Larry says, I love food and choose it over a healthy body, even when I'm not hungry. I can relate to that. And then Larry says, as for women, not sure I've ever had a healthy relationship with women, as I haven't had the healthy relationship with myself. I can definitely relate to that. I've been a dating coach for 11 years, and I've read so many books about women, about relationships, about sex, about online dating. I know more than probably 99.5% of the population about dating and the dynamics of people. And my last relationship, and I was still a dating coach then, and so well read in this area. And I knew all the things to do to handle conflict, to handle relationship, to be a good partner. But it didn't matter because I didn't do the work on myself. So then when I showed up, even if I knew all the right strategies, I showed up as someone who didn't fully love myself, who didn't stand up for myself, who had terrible boundaries, who constantly was people pleasing, and thought, the concept of happy wife, happy life would serve me. So I tried to make her happy instead of making myself happy. And it was just awful. I got very depressed. Everything was about her, where nothing was about me. She had her life, she had our life. I didn't have my life. My life didn't exist because I lived to serve her. And that was so freaking unhealthy. So I get it. All right, Larry, that's starting to change. Yeah, man, I can see it. I see it in you every day that you're starting to change. You're starting to realize you deserve better. Freaking love it. Yeah. Scott says sugar equals comfort, stress, release, reward. Yeah, and that's the scary thing about sugar too, is you start getting your dopamine goes up on sugar, but then once if you're having sugar all the time, all of a sudden you need more and more and more and more sugar, and soon you're eating, 15 donuts instead of like, have half a donut to get something going. And so Larry also says, I also want to drop another 15 pounds. I've lost 15 since I left my marriage, and I have another 15 to go. Nice. I love it. What I'm learning is, on a side note, to love myself as I am at this weight. Like, I love it. Like, this is where we're at right now. I love this body. It's serving me. It gets me from A to B. And and I'm not going to make myself wrong when I, have bad decisions, but I am going to course correct and say, hey, that was great yesterday. That was great, this morning, whatever I ate. And now we're going to refocus and eat the right things. And it's okay if we make a mistake. The other thing I really wanted to bring up that I thought was so freaking cool about this study from this PhD specialist on dopamine. So we were talking about how whenever dopamine spikes, equal and opposite happens, and then we end up neutral. There is one thing where we can spike dopamine, at least I'm only halfway through this podcast. So far, there's only one thing I know about where we can spike dopamine. So have that great effect where we feel happy, we feel high energy, we feel good, and not have the inverse happen where it spikes and then the negative happens. And it's called movement. It's called exercise. And so the thing about exercise, which can be challenging for a lot of us, is, let's say it's intense exercise. The first 20 minutes of intense exercise for many of us, for almost all of us, sucks. The first 20 minutes, like getting there, showing up to the workout, and then, dialing in whatever you got to do, the running, the lifting weights, whatever, it can suck. You're like, I'm here and this sucks. But after 20 minutes, the dopamine levels come up and you're going to start enjoying it and you're happy. And then let's say it's an hour workout. This is one of the few things where not only does your dopamine go up and you're happy, but it can stay up for about 6 hours. So you can get 6 hours of happiness from a workout, and then there's no come down. It's not like alcohol. It's not like some drug. There's no come down. You just get to stay there, and it's not going to then have a dip off. So really cool stuff. And you also can, accomplish this just by moving your body, like go on a walk. Like if you've been laying around for 2 hours, go outside, get a little sunshine, go on a walk. You can get a little dopamine hit. So movement is medicine in pretty much all cases. So move your body. All right, let's read some comments. Scott, I've been trying to get back to this place for too long. 12% body fat, a whole bunch of life food is triggered. Yeah, right? Emotional eating. I'm the freaking king of that. Oh, I'm tired. Let's eat crappy. Oh, I'm sad. Let's eat crappy. Oh, the day's a little different. Oh, I got to meet my friends out. Oh, I'm at the restaurant. Let's eat crappy. Good is triggered. I don't understand, Scotty. Maybe you can explain that. What else did I want to talk about? I don't know. It's the holidays. Oh, yeah. It's the holidays. I can eat. My parents are here. Let me eat crappy because we got to take them out to have a good time. And ultimately, what is this? What is that belief? Like, that's me going back into people pleasing and into scarcity. When my parents are here, we can't all have fun if I force them to come back to the house so that we can make a meal that's good. And then, we can't be on my food schedule and also have fun, where in actuality, there's abundance. We can have fun and have good, healthy food. Institutional program. Larry says institutional programming. Larry, what's that? Give us an example. I think I know what that is, but I'd love to hear an example from you. We are programmed to do what the world tells us to do. That's true. Yeah, it's all been programmed since we were children. Like I was told, be a good host, love your parents, cherish your parents. So make them feel special. And they didn't say I have to do any of this crap. This was, I could have chose to eat better while they were here. Mm. So I went to this insight seminar yesterday, and we kept going down the circular path of asking me questions of what I wanted and how I wanted to experience that and what my action plan was. And I remember about a year and a half ago, I was in the best shape of my life, like elite level shape. And I remember every day like feeling pretty like good, like excited, like energetic, having a lot of energy. I think it'd be cool to do that again. I know it's going to be hard work, but I remember once I got there, the maintaining of it wasn't so bad. It's the real hard work is like getting moving and getting the pounds off. But once you get to a place where you're happy, the maintaining isn't as gruesome because you got to have a calorie deficit to make the weight come off. But once you're at something, you cruise a little bit. All right, let's see what the chat says. Larry, I want and am love. Everything is love. That's all there is. You want love. You need to be love. Isn't that beautiful? Everything's love. Yeah, it seems like Scotty's dialed in right now. Like he's ready to put his foot on the gas and get things happening. And I wonder, like, I don't think you're doing this, but maybe for folks that rewatch this, I don't want folks to get into this like there's a destination. Like all of us are like, I want to lose 15 pounds. I want to lose 30 pounds. Like we don't have to wait to love ourselves at 15 pounds, at 30 pounds. Like, yeah, these are our goals. Like we want to get in a certain level of shape. But that doesn't mean I can't enjoy where I'm at right now. And I can't have gratitude for the fact that I have this thing right now that's like able to get up the stairs, able to go on a walk, able to go on a jog, able to lift weights. That's pretty freaking cool. I know some people that, aren't so lucky, can't walk. They're stuck in a wheelchair. And also, I want to give permission too. Like just because you can walk and you're not in a wheelchair doesn't mean you can't feel have a moment where you feel bad about yourself. And then you go in a spiral of beating yourself up for the fact that you feel bad when there is someone in a wheelchair. Everyone is entitled to have a bad day, to feel bad, and then still love themselves and be love. Does that make sense? All right. Larry or Scott, anything else you guys want to share? Maybe I should be more specific. Is there anything like new? Like you're killing. All right, Larry, we'll see you later, buddy. Thanks for hopping on. You're the man. Um, Scotty, is there anything like we're trying to lose weight? What version of you, or what did you have to kill to now be this new Scotty that seems to be super driven, focused, getting things done? Like, what did you kill? What did you do to make this happen? Because I think it's freaking hard to kill ourselves and rebuild, and sometimes we need a little direction. So I'll wait a second for that. All right, Scotty's got some new habits. We're going to see him at the gym tomorrow. We're going to get in shape. All right, guys, I think that's enough for today. I'm starting to sweat. Scotty's very aware of himself. That's good. New habits, too. Like, imagine mine, like getting on the phone for an hour. Imagine if I changed that habit. I'm wasting, let's say it's 2 hours. That's probably years off my life if I keep doing that. Years of my life will be freaking looking at this stupid thing, accomplishing nothing. Aware of ourselves. Sometimes we just need to like close our eyes and be like, what do I feel? And just breathe. Like right now, I feel a slight headache here. And I know I'm not feeling like amazing, so I'm going to rest today because I want to feel really good. So I'm going to take it easy. Tomorrow when you get back after it, hopefully with a good night's sleep, and then we'll be ready. And this looks like a good recommendation. Scotty's got Miracle Morning. Check that out. I'm going to check that out. Let's see what that is. Miracle Morning. Just going to type that in. Miracle Morning Routine. All right, the 6 steps of the Miracle Morning. Silence. Meditate or pray to reduce stress and focus your mind. Affirmations. Repeat positive statements to boost your confidence and set intentions. Visualization. Mentally picture what you want to achieve and how you'll get there. Exercise. Physical activity to increase energy and improve your health. Reading. Read something inspiring or education to stimulate your mind. This is so important. A lot of people will read, and we read stuff that makes us in a worse mood. Not a good idea. Scribing, write in a journal to reflect on your goals and personal growth. And then important tips. Start small. That's huge in everything. Don't put pressure on yourself to do everything perfectly. That's like a double tip. Small and forget perfection. Man, I can't tell you how many people I know that either try to start companies, they're like trying to be perfect. Look at this freaking YouTube live. I'm not perfect, but we're starting. That's all it is. We start. Be flexible. You can change the order of the steps or adjust the length of time you spend on each step. Ooh, flexibility. Good for you parents out there. Imagine your kid makes you have to be super flexible. Sleep well. Get enough sleep and have a good evening routine. Yeah. Best thing I've done for my sleep is stop drinking water like 3 hours before bed so I don't have to wake up to pee. Brilliant. Practice gratitude. Expressing gratitude can enhance your happiness. Oh, I need to be better at that. I am a woe is me kind of guy, and it's so unhealthy. Gratitude. Scotty writes, wake up, meditate, move. I love it. All right, guys. For all of you live, thank you so much for Scott wrote, more important than that was from the wake up, no phone. Ooh. Yeah, I thought you need to like see sunlight instead of this crappy light. You go see sunlight and supposedly it makes your whole day better. All right, everyone, thank you for joining us. The replay will be up once I hit end stream. But I love all of you, and we'll see you tomorrow around 12:30 Pacific time. See if I am feeling better and got a good night's sleep and started moving things forward. All right, and Scotty, we'll see you at the gym tomorrow. Bye-bye.